subscribe if you haven't already, and check out the guild and the Discord while you're down there. Hello people, and welcome back to News Review. Sorry this is a little late, but the news was a little early, so, it cancels out, and this is earlier than normal. For me, anyway. So let's get right into it. The main topic for today is the two new black gold cards. So, the two new black gold cards will be 200 diamonds each. I've not rated them as such, and I'll explain why a bit later. These two have actually been slammed by, the community on, I've seen some criticisms on, mainly Chinese Reddit, but I don't, people have been just slamming these cards. I have a few points of criticism that I've gathered, and my responses to that, or my opinions anyway. First off, there will be a 10-year anniversary giveaway of 10 things here. So when you log in, you just get these soon. They'll soon be an all max. I'll make a video on that now I have time. There'll be a new cake dragonmare, it seems like. Yeah, there'll be a bonus stage as well, where you can get souls and coins, which is quite nice. So let's get right into the main topic. The two black gold cards will be split into two different drawing machines, one with one of them being slightly higher, and then them being the guarantee at the 40 draws. There will be medals coming out. 60 buy 60 get 60. So if you want to purchase diamonds, this is probably the best deal I've seen so far. Although I don't normally purchase diamonds myself. All right. So first card, Nulla. Dark God. As a leader, it is a god and demon team. You have to have a god and a demon. If it's only gods, it won't work. This attack times 1.6 and this attack times 1.6 just won't be there. For every 3 runestones dissolved, you get extra attack as well. And then for the team skill, it works when she is a leader. Extend movement time by 10 seconds. Everything is everything. Ignore sticky, burning, smog by dissolving 10 or more runestones. Ignore puzzle shield, equal combo shield by dissolving attributed runestones. The leader launches an extra attack, so this is a consolidation of damage on the leader. After dissolving runestones, you get sky drop of 10 runestones of each type in each column. So basically, the columns will drop from water, fire, earth, light, dark, heart. I believe that's the order from the first column to the 6th column. That's what will drop in each column for a total of 10 each, if that makes sense. If your runestone movement starts with a character runestone instead, the runestones to be generated will be enchanted runestones instead of the normal one. You get a 100k shield, and then when the shield has any points whatsoever, you can overblock once, so you can get hit by some damage that is higher than your current shield, and then it'll just become 0 and you won't take any extra damage. For each protected runestone added, you recover your shield by 20 by 20k. That's right. When there is Nulla in the team as a member, when 100 runestones are dissolved cumulatively, she enters fortress mode, which has nothing to do with defense. It actually just gives her extra attack. I don't know, this is a point of contention. It's people are oh, fortress mode, why didn't they give her damage reduction? And then when there's Una and Nulla in the team, all members' CD will be reduced by 10. So, on to the active skill. The active skill is an EP skill, EP6. Remove the board to generate runestones of all types of fixed numbers and fixed positions. Modify heart to become protected runestones. Ignore death damage. Ignore scorching areas, and attack and recovery boost of 2.5 times. So, worth mentioning. Where did it say this? Does it even say this? Doesn't say this here. That will be a little weird. But you recover your EP by dissolving sets of runestones. Basically the same as Sailor Moon. You can think about it that way. 2 EP for a max of 8 groups of runestones dissolved. This card is actually, in my opinion, the better of the two, and by the majority's opinion, also the better of the two. Why? Because it's as a leader, like, you can't be bad. This is not a bad card by any means, right? And as a member, it is also very nice because the active is very versatile. Fixed boards are always useful. Ignoring death damage is something that is very rare. Ignoring scorching areas without any conditions is also very rare. So this is the first card that can do all that. That being said, this is, from what I've seen and from what other people have said, this is not this is not an explosive leader in the sense that it is meta breaking. This is not a meta breaking leader. This is a good leader. So if you're looking for something like meta breaking, see, this is where it gets tricky, because what is the value of 200 diamonds really? You know, people have come to expect a meta breaking leader from the Chinese Year Black Gold just because of, you know, historic precedent, right? When like CNY came out, he was meta breaking. Xiangyu was meta breaking. Trio was meta breaking. Lilith was pretty meta breaking, and the people have just come to expect that. So, like, I think a part of people's disappointment is like it comes from there, but I'll talk more about that a little bit later. The other card is Una, a light demon. Same sort of deal for the leader skill, although she works on combos instead of a number of runestones, or groups of runestones rather. The team skill works with her as leader. Extend rune's movement time by 10 seconds. Turn the first 10 runestones touch while moving into enchanted demon runestones of the type picked up to start moving. This is the point of contention where it like clashes with the EP stuff, because you're essentially creating a large number of one type of runestone, but you're also expected to dissolve a lot of groups of runestones to recover your EP, so that's like slightly contradictory. Everything is everything. God and demon runestones have the effect of each other as well. I don't know why they put this in, because everything is already everything. Ignore burning, ignore step damage, and by dissolving 10 or more runestones, ignore initial shield, ignore fixed combo shield, ignore electrified, frozen, and petrified. Combo count plus 10 each round. Attack basic value of all members will be lowered to 0, and add it into the leader, so this is also a leader consolidation kind of thing. Ignore poison, convert 40% of damage received to HP recovery, and then upon its own skill activation, you get a willpower effect. When it is a member in the team, it enters Blood Blast stage when you cumulatively dissolve 30 or more light runestones. When it is in this mode, it launches an extra attack of the runestone you use to end the movement, and it also ignores defense. Once again, this is a repeated thing from the last team skill. It also has an EP active, EP3. For 1 round, you ignore equal combo shield, runestone, combo nullifying. Its own attack times 1.6, and leader is itself or Nulla. Ignore anti-runestone shield. Give enemies a gash state. Yes, this is a typo. And when it is in the gash state, damage dealt to enemies increases each round to the max times 4, and deal light damage of 100 million to all enemies regardless of defense and enchanted runestone shield. So, that seems like an essay in the active skill. And why is this card bad? So, the reason why this card is bad is because it actually ignores, like, I guess, too many niche things, and because of that, it can actually be replaced. So, in the team skill, you can look. It doesn't ignore sticky. Sticky, I would argue, is more common than step damage. Like, if you ignore step damage, that's all well and good, but that's a little niche. Ignoring initial and fixed combo shield is very useful. All this stuff is useful, but the contradictory design on the destroying your own board kind of thing is not good. Ignoring poison, this doesn't really count that much. And convert 40% of damage received to HP recovery is a little weird, because if the enemy hits you and like it is higher than your current HP total, you're dead anyway. You can only recover from this if you end up alive, which kind of defeats the purpose of this defensive team skill. So, points of criticism, right? Points of criticism. So one is general power. I've talked a little bit about this, about how people expect like meta breaker leaders. These two are not meta breakers, all right? You're meant to have one of them as a leader and one of them as an ally. You do not need both of them. If you want one, get Nulla and then just have Una as your ally. Lack of creativity. I've seen this point come up. Una, people have been saying, is basically a copy of Omazeo. Nulla has like kind of the same sky drop that Xiangyu does. I mean, kind of. Like, the Omazeo one is more kind of valid, I feel like. But, you know, this, come on. You can't, like, design that many cards without having some repetition. Although I understand it's like Light Demon and whatnot. It's, like, exactly the same race, same attribute. Contradictory design. This is a good point, and why I put Una at 175 instead of 200. I don't think she deserves a 200 spot for having, like, this contradictory design in the EP and destroying your board kind of setup. Like, it just, you know, doesn't do itself justice. And then, not both these guys. And then for Nulla is a Skydrop type leader, but Skydrop type leaders have two problems nowadays. One is Scorching Areas, which she does solve herself. The other is Enclosed Areas, which just stops your Skydrop. And people have been saying that, hey, Silovic has this thing where if there's Enclosed Areas, it gives, like, extra attack to his team. Why couldn't they give us a Nulla? I mean, good point. And so that, like, you know, people have been saying this card, like, can be more broken. And yeah, it can. You know, this is not a meta breaker. And the last point, which I think is the most valid out of all of them, is the bad Dragonware. So let's see, where's the Dragonware here? So there will be two Dragonwares, of course, for the two cards. One is Dark exclusive, one is Light exclusive. The Dark one is CDs of Demon enemies will be deleted for 3 rounds, and then the Light one is CDs of God enemies. All God enemies will be delayed for 3 rounds. Why? Like, people are so mad over this because it's just one race, and this is so specific. People will continue using Chaos's Dragonware because these are just bad. Like, these are really bad. You know, like, the stat boosts aren't really that good either. I mean, it's fine, but, like, this delay for 3 rounds of a specific race just really does not, like, it's not it, man. These Dragonwares are quite bad. So, in conclusion, right? In conclusion, what I want to tell you is that these are not meta breakers. I would like if they were. I mean, actually, not sure, right? Like, there's the point about, like, you know, inflation of numbers. Don't, like, release a meta breaker every single patch, otherwise the meta is going to get screwed. That is also true. But I don't know. Like, regardless of whether I would like these guys to be meta breakers, the fact is that they're not, and I don't think Meta is going to change them. I don't think Meta is going to buff them. If you want one of these, Nulla is a great leader for now, and a great member in the future as well. Una is a fine leader, and not that great of a member because all these, although they, like, there's an essay in the active skill, these don't come up that often, and you can get around these by, like, you know, just spinning or other cards, because this is just equal combo shield, you know, anti-runestone shield. Like, all this is not, like, that hard to get around. Yeah. So that, in conclusion, you know, if you want, draw on Nulla. Don't draw on Una. That's my opinion. And yeah, let's move on to the free cards, which arguably are actually, like, really good this time. There's not one that's below Up to You, in my opinion. First off is a new Corrupted Seal Boss, Yogg-Sothoth Goth, the 8th Seal Boss, I believe. Leader skill is a bit of a meme. The team skill, it's you know, when you get black and white zone stuff again. When the nucleus is open, turn the column below the character into enchanted runestones. It has 2 actives. Fire Demon retains the same thing from before. First one, CD6. For 2 rounds, ignore Sticky. Modify the runestones so you get Demon Trail, and then by dissolving 8 or more groups of runestones in the first batch, you get skill CD -1. For the second active, Demon runestones can be dissolved singly or in groups of 1 or more with runestones of the same attributes in the first batch. So basically, just you make the board Demon with your first active, and then it just becomes 1 dissolve with your second active. Attack bonus plus 100% for combos made. This is a very significant attack boost. And then when there's another effect in play, ignore Puzzle Shield. The effect could be your first active. So, you know, that's that. This card is, I would say it's pretty broken because it's a huge attack boost in itself. It's the second demon ever to ignore Puzzle Shield without any conditions. First being Akaza from Demon Slayer, and then there's Dracula, which is only for himself. This is Yogg-Sothoth is only for herself as well, but that's like less conditions. So if you don't have Dracula, which I'm like banking that none of you guys do, because that was a pretty bad seal to pull on. Yogg-Sothoth is here to ignore Puzzle Shields. The Dragonware is also kind of nuts because of this, extending your Runes movement time by 8 seconds. Holy crap! This is like where the original Yogg-Sothoth extended your Runes movement time to like up to half a minute or something. This is I'm sure this is paying homage to that. My God. Moving on to the next series of cards, it is the Evoking Shop card. So the Evoking Shop is a new mechanic. It appears to be just a shop that'll be there for a while. New characters will be added on April. So like apart from these cards, that is. So this is a shop that is here to stay, evidently. I will be sure to cover this in the future in the new player guide or something. But yeah. 3 cards to start out, one being Daji, Fire Elf, CD6, time tunnel for 20 seconds, attack bonus plus 75 for combos made, excellent attack booster. I foresee this like being really nice. Despite Daji starting off the time tunnel trend of the game ever, this card is actually the only Fire Elf to have time tunnel. Elves did not have a fire card that had time tunnel before, so that's a unique thing. I predict this will have fairly high use rate, just because time tunnel cards are good. Next up is Metazord. This is a Dark Machina Metazord. It has a leader skill that synergizes with the original Metazord. Basically gives it a ton of attack. Metazord will and forever will be a meme, but hopefully it will be a little bit of a better meme now because of this buff. It has 2 active skills. For the first one is CD6, release lock skills of itself and neighboring members, ignore sticky, ignore initial shield, and if there are 2 or more Machinas in the team, it stays in play for 2 more rounds. Metazord, this Dark Metazord is actually the first Machina to ignore sticky, so that's pretty unique. For the second active skill, CD5, ignore defense and launch 30 dark attacks to all enemies. This is probably the point where it becomes valuable, because there are not many cards that you can just activate the active and solve a 30 hit shield, basically. It also has extra utility in the first active skill, so I put this in. Well, I don't know, all these cards are so good, right? It's kind of inflated the tier list this time, but this being the worst card of all of these, is kind of, but yeah, it is situational. I did put it in up to you because this is not like a staple card. Locking your skills and multi-hit shields are not, they don't come up that often, but when they do, this card will be there. Next is Glauc's, Light Demon, CD7, remove Tornado. After successful removal, skill CD is other demons -5. Explode the board to generate all runestones of fixed numbers and fixed positions, and then for 1 round, human, demon, and Machina attack ×2. Holy crap, this is a diamond seal card. This is the best card out of them yet. So remove Tornado, which is not something that is even on that many cards. It is a rare skill. You see the reduction of other demons of 5? That's insane. Fixed board of explosions of every kind. That's insane. And an attack boost to top it off. This is for real. This should be a 5 diamond card, or even higher than this. Is between the 5 diamond and 50 tier, right? But this is an excellent free card. Probably the best. Yeah, this is the best out of the bunch. I rated it as such. So that's that. Metazord will be getting an adjustment as well to become having 2 Machinas in the team will work with the team skill, I think this is, as well. Previously it was only fire members because the other meme ally or leader would be Smilodon. And last, but certainly not least, a Realm Exploration card, Fire Machina, CD7, release locked skills of machinas, fixed board, and when the machinas have 100% fuel, you don't even have to spin the fixed board. 4 rounds for each group runes resolved in the first batch, comp count +1, ignore defense. Just machina cards that unlock. There have been 2 in the past. One is Galileo, one is Pompeii. Galileo just unlocks your stuff. Pompeii also just unlocks your stuff. The new Metazord unlocks your neighboring cards, and this Incubus unlocks all your stuff as well. I would like some Machina cards that unlock that aren't Darker Fire. This is kind of a weird coincidence, but you know, we got what we got. There are no like special celebration events for this week. Actually, it's just all the stuff that is currently running is still going. So that will be it for this week's news review. If you liked it, please leave a like. If you have any questions, leave down in the comments down below. And if you like this in general, please subscribe. It gives me, you know, feedback that you like this, and it gives me willpower to keep making these. Alright, that's it for this week's news review, and I'll see you next video. See ya!